Of our top stories now, where Russian President Vladimir Putin and his US counterpart Donald Trump will hold their first official summit next month in July 16th. Associate Professor of American Politics Clodagh Harrington joins us now from Leicester in the UK. Good to speak to you. So does he have the full support of his administration on Putin and Russia?
Well, it's probably a little bit of a mixed bag. I would think he will certainly have an awful lot of interest, and he will have personal support from his high-level staff. But if you look at some of his key aides, people like Mike Pompeo and John Bolton, they have not spoken positively of Russia and of Vladimir Putin in the past. So there's going to have to be, I think, a little bit of rejigging of positions, but certainly overall, I would say Trump will have support.
Well, we know what's in it for Russia with this summit, but what's in it for Trump?
Yes, good question. I think there are some issues on the table that his voters, if nobody else, would like him to flag up. These would be things like the situation in Syria, what's been going on in Ukraine. They can talk about mutual areas of cooperation and mutual problems. There's also other more personal kind of challenging issues for Trump, and they would be around the notion of possible Russian interference in the 2016 election. Does he go there? Does he have that conversation? I think in some ways he would probably have to mention the elephant in the room, but who knows how that will actually pan out in terms of making any difference or changes.
And in actual fact, though, Putin is one of the few world leaders that he hasn't fallen out with.
That's very true, and you can see that Donald Trump from the get-go has always shown great admiration for Vladimir Putin. I think it's quite clear to see that he admires strong men, he admires strong male leaders, and Putin obviously has some kind of warmth and rapport with Donald Trump, and Putin has his own sort of type as well. If you think, Putin has had very positive relations in the past with leaders such as Silvio Berlusconi, so they would have a sort of a rapport of sorts. I think it's fair to say that Trump would be very eager to please Vladimir Putin, and I would also think it's only right and proper to flag up the inequality of experience of the two men in the room. Trump having won an astounding victory and all the rest of it back in 2016, he is a real estate billionaire and a former reality television star, and he's going up against one of the most canny, savvy, knowledgeable, experienced statesmen in the world. So it would be interesting to see if Trump comes away with anything of substance, or will this just really be a sort of an exercise in fabulous optics, maybe something a little bit akin to what we saw with North Korea a couple of weeks ago.
Well, we have to wrap it up here. Thank you very much for that.